Welcome back to Animal Crossing Horizons. I'm dazzling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Another late night episode. I again forgot I've not recorded, so here we are, recording late. And yeah, big stretch. What are we going to talk about? I suppose the next part of the holiday. Or something else miscellaneous, I don't know. But good evening everyone, I'm here with a late night broadcast. If we can make it through this. Right now in Fawnhallow it's 1:45 AM on what should be Sunday, May 30th, 2026. Oh, I didn't realise that dialogue changed. So, what did I last talk about with stationery stores? So the next one is technically Tokyo Disneyland. Which I do feel like I need more energy to talk about, to be honest. I'm also like, I'm figuring out in real time, do I have a sore throat or something? What's happening? Why does my throat feel so weird? Maybe I do have a sore throat, that would suck. As I often say, a sore throat is certainly one of the more annoying. This is definitely up there in the tier list. Probably not as bad as maybe like a headache. But yeah, I wonder if this is starts of some sort of illness because I have a little scratchiness in my throat. Oh well. We'll see, I suppose. Yeah. I'm not sure what to for that because I want to say about Disneyland. I'll talk about something else first, but there's not really much else to talk about. I suppose that I'll talk about getting back into streaming again. You might be a little bit confused why I've uploaded a VOD already. Oh look, we have Profina and I need to talk to you because I can't remember your name. Two angel chickens. Plucky, that's it. Are you Profina? Yeah, you are Profina. I hope that does mean their names are forever seared into our memory banks. But yeah, I got back into streaming. You might be, if you're eagle-eyed, you're a little bit confused why the YouTube VOD has been uploaded today already. The same day that I did the stream, which doesn't usually happen. And that's because as I was doing the thumbnail art, I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this in time in today's session. What I could possibly, but I'd probably have to run over a lot of the stream. Oh, you are Piers? Yes. So I was like, okay, I will do an impromptu, basically a random 1 hour, 2 hour stream or something during the weekday. It is a pretty reasonable time to do so because I don't have any major commitments on at the moment. Like D&D is not going to resume until not this week, but the week after. D&D had like a really long break. So yeah, there won't be any D&D in the coming week. Then I almost wonder if I should take another week off from it, but I think it's probably okay. It's been long enough. I don't know how much more I need to really prepare, to be honest, but I've done like no preparation for it so far since being back. You know what I can talk about? I can talk about expenses because that's something which people are not going to be interested in. I basically sorted out all the expenses, all the Japan expenses. Full stop. we have like a running Monzo tab with all the different sort of expenditures which have come during the holiday, and I have just finished adding all of my ones. Mine's a little bit more awkward because mine are not in Monzo, mine's on my Barclays credit card. So I had to sort of manually input the price for everything, but it's fine. Like, it's actually not too bad. I basically just started from the very beginning of a holiday date and scrolled all the way to the very end and just went through each item and just was like, is this something which I need to split across someone? Yes, no, otherwise we're moving on. There are some of them where I'm like, yeah, this one's definitely split across, but I can't remember how it's split. Or receipts, or it's awkward, or whatever XYZ reason, you just kind of move on. But most of it I split, and my one's certainly awkward because I certainly am definitely the type to sort of jump ahead and be like, yeah, I'll pay for this, don't worry. Well, not I'll pay for this, I'll use my card to pay you for this, essentially. I'm sure it was exasperated a little bit by the fact we were in Japan, but still. I ended up paying for quite a lot of meals. And it was definitely a lot more items I paid for than I expected. I don't mean that in a bad way, but this, by the way, it's not meant to be some sort of passive-aggressive thing. If it comes off that way, I apologise. I do it fully with the intention that this is what happens. Excuse me. So I intend it now, boy. But yeah. It's interesting because it used to be so tedious, I think, working out the price costs. What I always used to do when I was much younger is I always had like a big running sort of like Excel spreadsheet with basically all of the friends I would usually hang out with, so those back in from secondary school. And then whenever we went to do something, I would add it basically to the list, and then seasonally I mean, I share that list with everyone, but seasonally I'd be like, hey everyone, time to pay off your debts from this sort of thing. Who owes who, whatever money, because we just have the running total basically, whether you're in the positive or the negative, and then you can use that to do like a cascading effect of payment. However, I don't know what the best way necessarily to do it is to minimize the transactions, but I've always done it such as like you just ordering from least to most, of who's most in debt to who's most not in debt or most owed money, and you just do a cascading effect of each person pays. But nowadays it's a lot easier because I remember when I went on holiday with a friend during uni, I was introduced to Splitwise, which is basically this entire functionality except that it works out more automatically for you. Which is really nice. But you still have to sort of manually input it, but it's better than what I was doing. So what manually works out like, oh, when you want to set it up for debts, what you do. Now we've basically moved to Monzo, which is even more nice because it has, well, native feature of Monzo being a pretty popular, pretty much being the most popular, I think, sort of modern banking service in UK. Oh, sorry. Because not only does it automatically set up stuff for you, with a click of a button, you can just set up your own costs, and it automatically works out. It tracks running costs, and if you are trying to split something on Monzo, you can select it directly and just split it up, rather than having to manually input it like I do if it's on a different card platform. But yeah, that's that. I've settled up all the debts, and now we just wait for people to pay things off and settle things up, because I assumed I was the last one to do everything. Everyone else does it as they go because they're Monzo, but I obviously didn't do it as I go because I'm like, I don't have Monzo, so I need to kind of like sit down and work things out. And I often do try and work it out for meals if I can, like, if I have a receipt and I kind of like remember what people have. And here's the most important part: I think there's a large discrepancy in how much people paid. I will divvy up the cost of a thing based on what people paid. It mattered a bit in some of the meals, but some of the others it didn't even though I did it anyway. And some of the meals I straight up didn't have receipts for. I only had the total cost, so I was like, okay, well, this is just gonna have to be everyone split evenly. It's a bit of a mix of things. It's basically me being like, if I can work out how much you truly owe, I will do so. Otherwise, I'm sorry, it's a grab bag, and I see what comes out in the wash. Because there were definitely a couple of items that I didn't actually have to tap in the end. That's a bit. As I said before, it was like too much of a hassle, or it was like partly like a gift, and like I was fine, and I'm like, okay, it's not worth it, basically. Well, no, it's not worth to chase down a friend for like £10 or something, even though there's no point, because here's the thing with fiduciary value, not something you really put on friendship. It's assumed reasonable. I was gonna say equal, but I want to use the equity version of equal rather than the equivalent version of equal. Distribution of what is paid, you know? Excuse me. And it all comes out wash. I mean, like, yeah, that's the assumption. I'm sure there's lots of things I've gotten to pick up money from, and I'm sure there's lots of things on my friend's side as well. As long as we've got the major things, that's important. Anyway, so some fact now around this episode of here, because I'm tired. That's about it. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. Then I'm across new horizons. I've been there, darling. Like, comment, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye bye for now.